Kart Sport Wellington celebrating 50 years in 2010, and they start the year with one of the biggest meetings of the season on the Kart Sport New Zealand calendar. We move on to the final for the cadet class. Thomas Batt won the pre-final, and he started off the pole here for the final. And 19 laps for these youngsters. It's going to be a long way around this CRC raceway.
Yeah, I hope they've had their wee bits, Jamie. There's plenty of rubber down these shifter karts in Milan and a lot of rubbers, so they're all wearing rubber protectors and ready to get going.
So 85cc racket engines. They've been the engine in the cadet class for probably close to 12 years now, Tony.
Yeah, established by Graham Voss out of Kiwi Karts, and a great little product. And as you can see, it stands just the time here with this class.
I understand they're actually based on a Husqvarna chainsaw engine of all things.
Oh, they're very similar. They sound the same, especially when they're warming up in the pits.
So Thomas Batt leading this freight train. Looking forward to another great race here for the cadet class. The pre-final was a bit of a barn burner. The cadet class sponsored this weekend by the Upper Hutt City Council, so good to see the council involved in kart sport down this part of the world.
You see young Lachlan Smith sitting back there in fourth, just biding his time. His dad, Brendan Smith, on the spanners would have had a word to him, and he'll just be relaxed there back and forth for fifth.
So 38 there is Carl McNichol. Now, Carl's had some dramas because he was the top qualifier at the beginning of the weekend and won the first heat, but since then he's just fallen back through the field a little bit. 16 in there, Jared Fisher. He's made the trip across the ditch all the way from Nelson for the weekend. As the 6 makes a pass, Jacob Flynn on the 43 of Zach Thompson.
Yeah, nice clean move by Jacob. Give him plenty of room on the outside and completed the move, and now he can just push on through and try and jump on the front of these leaders.
And other than the New Zealand Championships with a similar format, this is probably the longest ever race these kids will do, outside of maybe club events with some mini endurance type races.
That is very much so, Jamie, but most of these kids, you can stick them out there on a practice day, they'll go do 100 laps, so it doesn't really seem to faze them, so they'll just be hammering times for the whole 19 laps, I would imagine.
Tucked down over the steering wheel. This is Jacob Cranston. You can see a lot of the earthworks around here at the CRC Raceway. An incredible amount of work has gone on from this tight-knit club to ensure that this event happened.
Yeah, they certainly have, Jamie. I think most of their Christmas days were spent up here and in hot conditions and a bit of rain as well. They've certainly shifted a lot of dirt, and they've done a really, really good job to get the place up to spec for this meeting.
There's car number 15, Caleb Natua. He's having a good battle here as well. 16 at the head of this group, Jared Fisher. What's the trick of getting around the CRC Raceway? Because it's very, very technical. You've got slow corners, fast corners, some big straights, and you know, lots of undulation as the 6 goes by the NI for the race lead. In fact, the 61, Thomas Batt, got them both.
Well, this is good racing by these boys, and still only early in a long race, so I can't wait to see sort of lap 16 come along.
Coming back to that question about how to get around here, what's the secret?
Yeah, it's a tricky old trick. It's one that I've always really liked racing at. It's obviously with your downhill section area is very tight, and the corners do approach very fast. So that's sort of the section where you've got to be a little bit relaxed with it, because if you get the first corner wrong, you'll no doubt get corner 10 wrong as well. And with the section up here through 1 and 2 and 3, fairly fast, and you can attack the thing quite hard.
Well, it's been a great race. The 6 leads at Jacob Flynn. There's nothing between the top 5 on lap 19, the final lap for the final for the cadets. I would be hesitant to call who's going to win this one, because I think we might see some opportunities coming up in the next few corners.
Yeah, up into the tight right-hander into the hairpin, but a few of the boys have gone defensive. It's all pretty clean, so we've got 1 or 2 corners left to go.
Jacob Flynn from the Hawke's Bay, your race leader at the moment. Runs a little bit wide off the exit. I thought maybe that Jacob Cranston was going to have a look up the inside as they make the run to the line. Close at the finish. But sadly for the 6 of Jacob Flynn and the NI of Jacob Cranston, they were both excluded for technical irregularities. So that brought the win to Zachary Thompson ahead of Thomas Batt and Auckland's Lachlan Smith.